Welcome back to the channel again, guys. In this specific video I'm going to go through this BMW. It's a 2 Series 220D Grand Tourer. Now this is not just a BM issue, this is also a Mini issue. So BMW and Mini should have recalled this, to be fair, but it's a scam they've got on, in other words, if you ask me, and it's been going on for a long time. The issue we have is all these fault codes, okay? I'm going to let you all read through it. All these fault codes. And when we come to turn the car on, so I'm going to explain this very clearly so you can all understand what I'm talking about. So in your case, you can have the drivetrain on. In your case, it may not come on with drivetrain and you can drive for an hour and then it comes on. Or in your case, you turn it on and boom, instantly it's there. And if you're very unlucky, you will lose power. You will have a lot of loss of power. So, point here is, if we turn this off, this car has been into BMW. I've done video on a Mini similar to this. That's why I'm like BM and Mini. And the diesel version, not the petrol, but the diesel. If you're getting all them faults, right, on the screen here, then it's to do with the ECU, which is located here on this 2 Series. I'm using the Icarsoft CR Max P to kind of get to the bottom of it, but I have now got to the bottom of it and I know what it is exactly. The issue we have is the wiring harness here that goes into the ECU, okay, is known for it to leak fuel in there, as in like diesel. So somewhere down here, okay, somewhere, where is it? So somewhere within the ECU wiring harness in there, okay, in here, fuel leaks into the wiring harness and it goes into the ECU and it corrupts it. When it contaminates with water, it throws the drivetrain issue, even though the car drives fine. It throws all these issues and you're thinking it's probably the mass sensor, the EGR and whatnot. It's not. It's actually the ECU. Now, I'm going to strip everything and I'm going to show you guys how to fix it. Well, when I say fix it, there's a cheap version. And hopefully that'll work. If it doesn't work, then I'm sorry. So, the cheap version is DIY, get cracking yourself. By the way, this was already stripped by BMW and things weren't put back, which I'm not overly impressed, to be fair, with main dealer doing it. I mean, they should have at least put it back because you moved the car from A to B. Long story short, this is what we've bought on, I'm going to put a link in as well so you guys can grab one on Amazon. And we're going to spray this once we've taken the ECU out, but we have to be mega careful on taking these things and making sure we know what we're doing. So, first thing first, on your car, I don't know if it's a Mini, I've got another video on where it is. I'm sure it's somewhere down there again. So we're going to strip this end here on BMs, especially on these newer models. The ECU is right here, which we recommend moving this as well to make life easy, but we'll find out and how easy this is to pull out. And the one thing I didn't mention is, so BMW has quoted around about 4 grand. That's just basically estimate. You've got to understand they might stack you up to more. Like I said, we'll start with the sprayers, electrical sprayers. That helps good. If not, there's guidance on what you can do after as well, which is sending your ECU off to someone on eBay, clone it for about 200-300 quid, bring it back, pop it in. Hopefully this will solve it. That's the routine, I would say. Or if you want to put a new ECU in, go ahead by all means. But you got to understand, once you've fixed the ECU, remember, because diesel has gone through the wiring harness, you also probably need to change that. But it's one of those, isn't it? It's up to you if you want to change it, but I recommend you do. Once you've changed that, you then have to go through these sensors sometimes. Even if the fault is there, it may come back with MAF sensor, for example. So that means your MAF sensor is knackered because diesel's gone through and has knackered it. Everything's trial and error, guys. Nothing's going to be 100%. So remember, we'll start off with that, and it's a 99% sure it's that. And I'm just so surprised to this day that dealer has not put a recall on them. Obviously, it's all money-making scandal, that's what it is. But disappointed for BMW. They're quite good cars, but in this case, this is the result we have. So, I've taken the wipers off, guys, and it's just made more room for me. You don't have to take certain things off, but I have done just to make my life easy so I can actually visualize and see what's going on. This was already taken off and they've not even put it back properly. Actually, they have even broken it. Well done to BMW. Well done. Look at that. that, they've broken though. So even if you were to fix this, the issue you're going to have, guys, this is why you can't trust people, honestly. The issue you're going to have is you fix that, you end up losing power, under boost, and you're thinking, oh god, now we need a turbo. No, it's to do with this. This is why it's always best to do things yourself if you can, but you can't trust anybody. And this is very fragile, they tend to crack, so be very wary. So the ECU is out, guys. One of these, just so you all know, it's one pulls out this side and the other one pulls out that side. So let's get cracking and start stripping this apart, but we have to be mega careful on this one, guys. We'll have to see what we can do. Guys, this is what I'm going to do. Work from the way back here to the front and pull this up, and I'm going to use a hairdryer just because this is all silicon nicely, and we're going to work our way, heat it, pull it, and use a sharp blade just to cut through the silicon. So the hairdryer can consistently work like this, and we're going to use something like this, and as we open it up with the flathead, we're just going to do this. You don't want to put the head in too much because you don't want to damage the circuit board. Like this, and then we're going to work our way around all the way, guys. Guys, as we can see, you can see the muckiness in there, should we say, the yellowness. That's diesel there, that's diesel that's dried up. Obviously this car's been stood for a good year or so, and it's coming to us obviously in that sense, and the diesel has dried up. Obviously it hasn't been driven, but you can clearly see the yellowness. You can see the motherboard has had some contamination in the past. So guys, let's get cracking. I'm going to spray this in and we're going to see if there is any yellowness coming out. Get it soaking like this. Just tilt it on its side so it all comes out. So we're going to continuously do this for a few shots and let it dry up and do the same again. We're going to do the same for the wiring harness as well. And do the same for the other one, guys. This one here. Everything's been dried up. I've dried it up with a hairdryer. We're going to silicone this back, guys, and pop it in, and hopefully all is well. And this has been dried. It's been... I've dried it with the hairdryer as well, to be fair. And there is no particles or, like we saw earlier, you know, like residue of diesel. There's none of that left now. It's looking great. So we'll put it back and hopefully find out if it does come back on after a minute, because that's what happened before. It was coming on after like a minute of the engine running. So that's everything put back together, guys. Spotless. And that's our part number as well. Right, so guys, so we're in the car. We're going to do a quick erase. So it used to come on just under a minute maybe. So we'll find out now. I'm going to do a full scan, clear it all. And hopefully, I've not put things back together because I'm going to have to put things back a bit differently this time. Just maybe order the piping. I have to get the part number and whatnot. But it's just to confirm that we're all good. So as we can see, nothing is now permanent. DSC, that's probably to do with pad sensor or whatnot, because I think I've seen it earlier. So transmitter, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not overly fussed about them too. That's completely irrelevant to what we do. So the real deal is vehicle control. So I'm not bothered about that one. I'm not bothered about that. Not bothered about that. Mileage range, not bothered. We're just going to wait for a minute. And if that disappears, then happy days. I mean, so far so good, but all I'll say, guys, I hope you can solve yours. The issue you have is BMW should put a recall on it, but they won't do. It's obviously money making scandal. You can certainly get in touch with them, and the most common issue is when they start filling with the EGR for the EGR recall. That's when these kind of like pop up, these warning. But so far so good, guys. I'll put things back. I loaded that new pipe in, change it, and jobs are good in.